Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special gathering for our full moon in Virgo, which is on February 27th, 2021. And we are gathering here together with some of our beautiful upgrading souls from around the world. Literally, we are a massive international community. And if you're here live, I absolutely honor, respect, and welcome you with love, because I do know sometimes how tough it can be to negotiate time zones and schedules and all of those things. And if you are tuning in for the recording, once again, I know that life can be extremely demanding and busy. And of course, there's so much noise and stimulation available to us when we tune in online. You could have clicked on any number of videos today. But for some reason that perhaps we will get to find out together throughout the course of our hour together, for some reason you have been drawn here. You have been led here. You have been guided, and you followed the guidance to show up and be here with us today. And as I always say, there are no accidents, that everything is always divinely guided. Everything is always divinely orchestrated. And as I was given, just as I was tuning in outside, the great message, and I'm hoping as I bring it through that it brings comfort to so many, is that everything is always as it needs to be. And so that could be a really difficult one to chew on and a very difficult one to swallow. And it's one that I've struggled with. I haven't always loved hearing it. And I definitely, if you can't assimilate something for yourself, how can you teach it? So it's taken me a long time, but I wholeheartedly share this with you as a true believer and as someone who's experienced being able to have faith in those words, and in any given moment being able to step back, look around and observe life exactly as it is in this moment, and trust that there is a bigger plan in play, that there is a bigger plan in motion. And I'm hoping that I can sort of encourage you to try that on for size if you haven't already started to live by it. It is an attitude rather than a belief system. It needs to become an attitude, not something that is something that we believe or we think about as in intellectual form. It has to be something we experience and we put into practice and we live, we truly embody. And so there are many struggles happening currently as we speak on many levels, and they can often seem downright rude of the universe to even think that we need to or should go through something like we are. And we fight and we push and we worry and we fret and we try and scramble to take action to change a situation, to remold it, to manipulate it. And that causes pain and struggle. And so true inner peace, true self and life mastery is very much rooted in this, in the embodiment of being here now in each moment as if you are the one that invited everything into your life, as if you are the one that clicked purchase on the screen, or clicked bring it on, or sent out the invite or gave permission, is remembering that we're choosing every step of the way. We always have free will. And I know a lot more will be coming through in today's session. So we're going to now go into a meditation. And for those of you who haven't experienced a session like this with me before, I'll just give you a bit of a brief background. So we will be meditating. So there will be periods of silence, and you will be still and silent. I will be guiding you with my voice. But as always, I will be bringing through, so this isn't a scripted meditation. I don't have something that I'm reading, nor is it borrowed from any teachings or any sort of practices out there. I haven't sort of gone and researched it. This is going to be coming through to us from our divine cosmic upgrade team, and they will give me the words, and I will translate them, so to speak, into English. And I will say this: feel and receive what is being given, rather than try to understand. Because when the mind tries to sort of get busy with trying to understand what is being said, it can really take away from the experience. And there's so much more potency where we can just sort of try and switch off. And I will guide you to a place of receptivity. So hopefully it'll be a little easier for you. And don't worry if the mind gets busy. Don't worry if thoughts come in. That's absolutely normal and natural. Simply follow my words, follow my voice, and just keep bringing yourself back to focusing on my words. All right. And there's nothing else you need to do other than that. All right. So that's just a little bit of an intro. And so we begin by grounding. And so, of course, meditation is sometimes a very it is connecting to higher realms quite often, and we will end up there. But I like to use the analogy of a tree. You know, you say you've got like a really big, cumbersome, really solid tree. Without its roots, it cannot rise. Without its roots strongly rooted into the ground, it will have a really hard time staying upright, staying stable, then of course blooming and blossoming and growing. And so this is why I like to begin our meditations. I also call them activations, because as we bring forth the energy, and this is the beautiful thing is, you know, you get buy one, get one free. You can meditate, but you also get a cellular activation, because the energy it's infused. It's quite magical, really. And so you might have some sensations in your body. You might feel nothing at all, and that's absolutely fine too. Everyone is at a different point in their journey and with their relationship with all of this work. But I just want to reassure you that whatever you're feeling, it's normal. The main takeaway point that I want to give you is to enjoy. That this is a gift for you from me, where you don't have to do anything. You can just rest and relax. So if you are sitting down, if that's comfortable for you, then absolutely fine. Stay there. Try and make sure your feet are on the ground flat. If they can't be, or they're not, that's absolutely fine too. And if you're laying down, then again, make sure you're nice and comfortable. And so we begin. So you can keep your camera on, or if you want, you can turn your camera off, whatever feels comfortable for you. I will be closing my eyes a lot. And I will also invite you to close your eyes. And we begin here. We begin on this glorious full moon well, evening for me and day for most of you. A glorious gift that we are given every single month. And it affects and impacts so much of our life. And it's valuable and important to, at the very least, acknowledge. And then even better, to take at least a few minutes around this time every month to notice, to rest and be still. And so this is what we are entering into in this moment. A moment of pure stillness for our body. And as you still your body, invite your mind also to become still. Focus on my voice. And the more intently you begin to focus on my voice, allow any background noises to fade away. Focus purely on my voice. And now bring your attention to the space in front of your face. And connect with the energy there. And the space above your head, above your crown chakra. And notice and connect with any feelings and sensations in and around the space. And now bring your attention to the back of your head. And as all of these spots merge together, allow yourself to be cocooned in a beautiful, warm, relaxing, bubble of energy. That is inviting you to soften into this very moment. And everyone together, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And please repeat that several times in your own time. Inhaling and exhaling. And now bring your focus to your shoulders, your abdomen, your tailbone, your knees, and your feet. Scan through from your big toe to your little toe and back again. Notice the skin beneath your feet. Maybe you're wearing socks or shoes, or maybe you're barefooted. And allow your feet to sink deeper into the ground beneath you. And now we invite you to bring your focus inward. And scan through your body. And scan through until you rest upon, until you notice an area in your body that either has physical pain, physical tension, discomfort, or emotional discomfort. Quite often the two go hand in hand, but whichever one jumps out to you first, scan through the body. Notice the one that's most prominent, it'll jump out to you. And rest your attention there. Place your hand on this part of your body, as if you were giving yourself a soothing, loving stroke. And as you do so, feel the healing nature of your own touch. You can stroke, you can rub, you can pat, or you can just simply hold your hand even slightly above, a few inches above that space, and allow for the warmth and healing energy of your hand to transmit to this part of your body. And as you connect more deeply with this area, it could also be an area of your life. Maybe it hasn't manifested in your body as yet, or maybe it won't. Perhaps it's an area of your life, maybe your finances, maybe your relationship, maybe a room in your home that has some kind of problem or damage. You can also do the exact same with that. Use the power of your healing hands to transmit in the direction. Use the power of your visualization to amplify and manifest this connection. And we now feel the beautiful energies of the moon coming in to help us and to assist us today. And so just in this moment, it's as if someone has cracked open a window and there is a flood of beautiful, bright light coming in to assist and support us as we really step into this healing today. And as you continue to visualize and transmit and pour love, unconditional love into the body part or the situation or this relationship or the room in your house or the circumstance, as you continue to group together with the beautiful moon energy and your own very potent healing powers. And our cosmic team are also here, our UpGrade team. Continue to, as you visualize, notice anything. It might come to you in a feeling, it might come to you in a word, it may come to you in an image. Continue to call forth more clarity around this And as we ask the question, and you ask the question, what do I need to know? Show me. Show me. And as we state this loudly and clearly with courage, because often we don't want to know the truth because then we've got to do something different. But today we are held in this beautiful, loving space as a group together. You are safe. It is safe to call in and reveal the truth. And so start to watch these little nuggets of truth, these little flashes of new information that might be coming to you now. It might be revealing something that you had misunderstood about a situation, about someone, about yourself. It might be revealing to you about a lifestyle habit, maybe a certain food or beverage that you were ingesting that you felt was actually really good for you, but in fact it's not, or maybe it was at some point, but it no longer is. And so we now see that that crack in the window that was letting in this beautiful, amplifying, healing, revealing moonlight has opened more. And so it's kind of opened 3/4 of the way, this window now. So we're now seeing more light coming in. So as if you were looking up to the sun or the moon in this case, but to sort of feel the rays on your face. As if you were needing some warmth, you were needing some upliftment. So allow those beautiful rays to come onto your face and just take a moment to pause as you sink more deeply now into your space, into your chair, into your seat, into your bed or floor or sofa. And the words from my book actually are given to me here, and the words are bowing down gracefully. And so in this moment, we take pause, we give ourselves a moment of respite to breathe before we continue to dive more deeply. And so the guidance is coming through that, hey, we know it's not easy. Hey, we know you're trying really hard. Hey, we know that you're doing all you can, and it hurts, and it can be frustrating, and it can be overwhelming and confusing. And so give yourself this moment to just breathe. Almost as if you were taking a quick break on a full day hike. Taking a moment to pause, breathe, have a drink of water, maybe eat an apple, catch a breath, and off you go again. And that is what this moment is. And so as we've taken our break and we've recalibrated our energy a little bit here, we're now inviting this situation to come more fully into our presence and into our awareness. Whether it's tension or pain or some kind of ailment in our body, whether it's a situation in our life, a relationship, whatever it might be, we're now inviting it. Come, hey, come inside. Come sit down with me. Let's catch up. It's been a minute. How are you really? And as you project those words out into the situation is also mirroring those words back to you. So how are you really? And you notice now you're each having the moment to give an answer. So Give your answer. At least 3 different words, perhaps. One of your answers might be, I'm damn fed up, actually. One of your answers might be, I feel afraid. Another of your answers might be, I feel sad. So it could be any number of varying combinations of emotional states. So this is a moment to express. And now take a moment to listen to what the situation is reflecting back to you. Maybe you've got something in your body and you're listening to that part of your body and it's saying to you, but you don't take care of me. You haven't been feeding me well. Or I'd like you to rest more. Or I'd like you to be brave and send that email. All right, I'd like you to be bold and reach out to that person. So let's take this moment or two to let this conversation evolve. And in this, you are simply the observer. So you're observing, almost like 2 people having a conversation, and you get to watch and observe and notice, and do so with detachment if you can, and with non-judgment. We're simply gathering information here for the very powerful purpose of helping you to progress this month in the direction that you would like to progress in. And so now that you've got all of this information at your fingertips, and come back into your conscious awareness. And now I'm going to ask you a question. A series, actually, of questions. And as we sit in this very ripe energy of healing and releasing and letting go, which is what each full moon brings to us, amongst other things, I am going to ask you, firstly, what needs to be let go of today? What has run its course? What is no longer serving you? And how does that feel to acknowledge that? Now, I'm going to ask you, what is the attachment to you not letting go of that? Why does it serve you? Because there's 2 sides to this coin. In reality, it does not serve us. But what it does do is feed into our shadow. So when we're looking at it and living it, especially when we're speaking our truth, that like we are in this moment during this process, we know that it's no good for us anymore. It's not in alignment with who we are as our current version in our evolutionary journey. But then on the other side of the coin is the unhealthy attachment that we have, this illusion that we've created, that we've bought into, that it becomes part of our identity. Perhaps a constant struggle that we've been in, a back and forth, this sort of inner battle. I've spoken about this a lot lately, this 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of dance that we do. And so the big question, once you've identified what it is and what needs to be released, the next question is, what does it serve? How does it serve me to keep it here? What need is it meeting if I stay in that pattern or in that habit or in that fear or in that situation? And why? And why? So is it when I was a child, every time I got sick, my dad would give me extra TLC and that made me feel special. So now it serves me to be sick because I get extra TLC from the people I love. What self-fulfilling prophecy are you swimming around in that is nothing more than an outdated illusion, a story? And now we glance back up at our window, and the window has now opened even more. The window is now all the way open, and now we are experiencing this beautiful flood of beautiful, energizing, clearing, cleansing light. And again, use the power of your visualization and bring in front of you the situation, the scenario, the issue, the block, the pain, the ailment, as if you were looking at a 3D model of it in front of you. And then you have the beautiful moonlight shining in. And we are asking for the beginning of your recalibration to be set in motion today. And so right here, we do not have any magic wands where we click our fingers and things are completely different within a second or two. Not in the material, not yet, not for you, but that can happen within you. And so this is a moment of decision. If you decide that something will be different, if you decide that you deserve something, if you decide that you will no longer play small, if you decide that you will rise to the fullest expression of your own self-realization in this lifetime, then that decision has the strength and the potency to set a chain of events in motion that has been dormant for as long as you can probably remember. And that is the magic wand I'm interested in. And so as you see everything in front of you, allowing this energy to come in, I'd like you now to lift your hands and contribute to this activation along with the moon, along with the power of your intention and your decision and your power of visualization. and start to notice how the model, the manifestation in front of you is changing. The parts that you want to release are dissolving gradually, gracefully, with love. And the parts that you want to manifest are appearing gradually, gracefully, and with love. And so using the very potent energy in your hands and your feet firmly on the ground, and the loving support of our very beloved cosmic upgrade team, we bring forth this recalibration and this reactivation and this releasing, so that everything becomes organized and placed exactly where it needs to be. And we are holding the space. We are holding the space. So notice inside you, are you doing any pushing? Ugh. Are you forcing anything with your mind or with your body? Relax even more. And this is something we translate into our life as well. When we remember that the very life force that roots that tree down and holds it up so that it can blossom and bloom year after year after year, is the very life force that is also governing you and your life. And quite often, the reason that things are not going the way that they should be going, when I say should, I don't mean to should on you. I mean to say that you are supposed to live abundantly. You are supposed to live in well-being. You are supposed to live as an expansive, evolving, happy, playful, joyful being. That is the should part. And so when things are not going as they should be, it quite often is because of our humanisms that getting in the way. We haven't mastered ourselves enough so that we can then master our life. Because we are the hub of everything. You are the hub of your life. And so if life isn't happening how you would like it to, then look no further, my dear one, than within you, inside of you. And this is information that can set us free. Because when we no longer need to point the finger or look outside of us to think about and find the reasons for why things are the way they are, and we can take self-responsibility. Oh, that is liberating. And so as we hold the space, take a few moments now to watch as this, almost like the pieces on a chessboard being reconfigured, repositioned. That goes there and that goes there and that lines up with that. And when that lines up with that, this happens. And it's like beautiful, this illumination of the next month that you are visioning for yourself coming to life in front of you. And would you join me in bringing the palms of your hands together and placing them in front of your heart space? And some call this the Namaste Mudra, some call this prayer position. I just like to think of it as us connecting in with the very potent heart-centered mind, our heart that is so wise, so intuitive, so knowing, always has our back. And as I invite you to come out of this meditation, I'd like you to rub your hands together if you can, as fast as you can, to bring some warmth, and then bring your hands over your eyes. Open your eyes and then gradually move your hands away and come back into our space. And so, as I said earlier, I never know what's going to come through, because I always open up to whatever we need to know and whatever we need to work on in this moment collectively, whether we're live or on a recording. It all intertwines, it all intersects in this moment. And so I'm as surprised as you are. What I will say is, and I will say this till the cows come home, this is never an invitation to blame yourself or shame yourself or judge yourself or anyone else for that matter. When we think about self-mastery, we think about self-love. Well, I do anyway. The ability to understand that love is the energy that can transform. It is the energy that can heal. It is the energy that can fire us up. It's passionate, but it's also forgiving. And so if you are feeling any kind of, I don't know, frustration, maybe I'm picking it up from somebody, any frustration, any, anxiety, and you're like, well, why, still kind of pushing against what is. I encourage you to put into action an activity that, really works. By no means are we going to put a Band-Aid over a big gash, so we can't skip any steps. But sometimes we can kind of play around with the energy. We can play around with our own inner being and our own mind. We have so much knowledge now, and so by getting into creating some good habits for ourselves and starting to get into new habits that maybe have felt extremely uncomfortable, maybe we haven't felt ready, maybe they haven't felt like there's something we can do. That's not for me, that's for someone else. I don't deserve to put time and energy into that, or I'm not good enough for that, or whatever it might be. Starting to actually this month at least introduce one new habit that you might start to implement that will support and assist as you go forth into this new way of living and being that you are seeking. And so it could be anything. I always say start small. And so that's not to say that we skip over the healing part. That's not to say that we skip over the soul work. It's not to say we skip over the shadow, work. But it can soften the blow a little bit, and it's like, on a 2-lane highway. Like, we can have both lanes, and we can be, we can skip from lane to lane, right? On the same journey. You don't all necessarily need to stay in the same highway, the same lane on the journey. And so you have several lanes that you're sort of flitting in and out from. And I do write about this a lot in my books. If you haven't read that yet, it is really a really practical, helpful way to just put all of these things into motion. So refer back to those that little journal entry, and maybe it can sort of jog your memory. And then if you are ready to sort of create some upgrade actions, whether it's indirectly related ones or directly related ones. Those of you who've read the book will know what that means. Then you've got something to refer back to. So I will begin by asking you to just quickly give a brief overview of where you touched your hand when in the initial sort of invitation to focus in on the issue or the ailment or the pain or that situation in your life or that room in your house that needs organizing or fixing, or maybe it's something, right? And just give a brief overview of what that is. And the reason I'm doing this, by the way, is because I'm a big advocate for, yes, we learn and we go into energy work and we meditate and we do lots of spiritual practices, but without backing it up with a sort of a more cognitive understanding, and then translating that into everyday life. What does that mean in my life? Yeah, I've done this full moon meditation and I saw a bunch of stuff, but what is it? How is that going to actually help me on Monday when I get back into my day, into my week, and into my life, right? And so this is why we take it just a little bit further, so that we can continue the momentum, right? So describe the situation or issue, and then describe or jot down any of the conversation that you had. So how you feel, but how the situation also might have spoken to you, if it was a person and it could speak, As I gave a few examples in the activation, that if it was something to do with your body, it might be saying, well, you're not sleeping enough, you're pushing me too much, or you're not moving me enough. Or come on, it's time to, I don't know, I'm the new business that you've been, dreaming about launching, and you haven't launched me yet. What's all this about? I want to get out there, right? So anything from that conversation that you might remember. And then the next piece of the journal activity will be you describing what needs to be let go of in order for things to move forward. So it could be a belief. I don't believe I am capable, or I believe I am too busy, or I believe I'm not good enough. Or it could be an actual tangible physical situation, or even a habit. Right? You might need to let go of ... habit. Like, this month I'm going to release watching Netflix 7 days a week. Instead, I'll watch it 2 days a week, right? Something physical, tangible that needs to be let go of, or a belief, or maybe there's some healing that needs to happen right now. Maybe that pain, or physical issue, or problem, or imbalance in the body is actually coming from an emotional block. And that may be where your next steps have to be focused. And so then we look at, as well as what needs to be let go of, what needs to be embraced. So perhaps the bringing in of a small strategy, a small plan. And of course, this is a huge, humongous topic, my friends, humongous topic. But my intent was to give you a boost this full moon, to give you something to chew on, something to work with, and some inner activation. And so I will say, for the rest of your day, please drink plenty of water. Please know that, and try and get outside in nature if you can. And if you could get out to see the moon at some point, then please do that. And if you might feel sort of a spontaneous, it can come in many different ways. So it could be a wave of emotion at any point throughout the day. You might be in the bathroom and you might just have this wave of emotion. A memory might come up, one that you haven't thought of in such a long time. You might be, I don't know, buttering the toast later on, and you might have this sort of real deep, full body aha moment, right? That one happened to me, by the way. I was making toast and I had this big, many years ago. So the next steps for you after all of this in our very short session, because this work is a lifetime of work. It's a lifetime of work, but is to remain in that state of openness, welcoming whatever needs to come in. Because my love's therapy is not just in the hour. I mean, traditional therapy is, but this work, it's not just in the hour. This is why when I work with my clients one-on-one, they have access to me on email and on message. Something comes up, we have to deal with it in that moment, or at least I give them the tools to deal with it, right? So please understand, we cannot compartmentalize this work. We are working on a soul level here. We're working with much, much more than just the mind. Yes, we can master the mind. We can train the mind. We can train any part of us. We are very trainable. I mean, we're creatures of habit, right? But when it comes to this deep unearthing of let's say the misaligned and building blocks that we've accumulated over the years, or we could use the word baggage. We don't get a say in when it was going to come up. When it's ready, it'll come up, and it'll probably come up at the most inconvenient of times, especially if we're not allowing ourselves to do the work. Now, well done, because you're here today and you're doing the work in some capacity. But as I said, it goes way, way deeper than this. So if those of you who haven't seen yet, you might know that I have... I'm launching a brand new offering. We launch next week. It is groundbreaking. I am so in love with it. They do say only put out stuff that you would buy and yourself and that you love. Well, I am in love with this because it is, for many reasons, it is affordable. It is going many steps further than my old teachings. Of course, those are still in place. We still need them. They are preliminary, they are foundational. But of course, as I evolve as a coach, as a mentor, as a teacher, so does my work. And so this is brand spanking new. And we are very much now in this moment, like never before. We're always... It's not just me teaching you. I've realized that lately, actually, that we're also very much in the presence of the Cosmic Upgrade team. And I'm so grateful for that. And so it is a 9-month journey. It is group work. I'm keeping it group work only so that it can be easy to access for you. But the potency and the level of love, care, and attention is still there. It's who I am. I can't do it any other way. Can't do half-assed stuff. So if you are ready to explore, not me or my stuff, yourself, the next stages and phases of your life, then I do invite you to go over to the webpage and have a look, or go to my social media. You'll find it somewhere there, the link there. This came to me earlier on, and I'm going to follow through with it because it's a really cool gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. If any of you are ready to jump in, maybe you've seen the videos this week, maybe you've read the descriptions, maybe you've felt into it and you're feeling kind of 50-50. I understand that. I really do. I get the enormity and the sort of the entirety of what goes into making such decisions. And so, because I'm so in love with this offering and I want you all to live a massively upgraded life on your terms, I have the availability to offer to anyone who registers today and pays in full to offer you 3 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. Now, the value of that is way, way, way beyond what you will be paying in the group, in the Upgrade Academy. So that is my way of saying to you, you are worth it. I know you're worth it. I want to show you that you're worth it by giving up 3 more hours of my time, which not many people get to work with me one-on-one anymore. And so if that's something that, you know, really speaks to you, until the end of Saturday, that offer still stands. You know how to reach me. You all know how to reach me. And this is only an offering for those of you who are live. So it's a very special one. The group, it's a 9-month group program. It's a journey. I haven't been using the word program. That's just a habit. It's a journey, a very immersive journey. But if you would like to, the word supersize is coming up. You want to supersize it to work one-on-one with me as well. That's also an option if you don't decide to sort of jump in today. So